Who on your team would win an arm wrestling competition? Well, I think that, I don't want to sound arrogant, but probably I think I would most likely win. Maybe Jensen. He's been in the gym recently, I think. So
really? Okay.
No, I don't think so, actually.
I was going to say Jensen was not the answer I was expecting.
So,
no offense.
I mean, if you include coaches, I think Cold and Spawn might beat me, but I don't know. I don't know about any of the players. Lightning fast. What is the worst thing you've ever smelled? I don't know. I can't. I'm trying to think. That nothing sticks out as the worst thing I've ever smelled. Probably it'll be something my dog would have,
yeah.
came out of his mouth with at some point. That's the thing that comes to my mind first of all. And my dog just dog sick. But
yeah.
I don't know. I assume that. Yeah. Pick one word to describe yourself and explain why. Athlete.
Okay.
Because I play a video game professionally, and that's very serious, and I have to uphold so many responsibilities, and it's such a hustle. So athlete, e-athlete.
Please no.
First video game you ever played. So I'm tempted to say it was a Scooby-Doo game on the PlayStation 2. It might have been PlayStation 1. And I remember I didn't have like a save card, so I had to just keep doing first mission over and over for like a year. So I think it would have been that one. I don't know what the name was called, but it was Scooby-Doo for sure. Scooby-Doo PlayStation 2.
How old were you?
We were like 4 or 5. Pretty young.
Yeah.
Maybe even younger. Probably 4 or 5 though. Do you believe in ghosts? Why or why not? No, I don't believe in ghosts. I've never been haunted. I've never seen any spirits. But I haven't been to any graveyards very much, or cemeteries, so maybe I just haven't been investigating it enough. I've never spoken to a psychic who's made me talk to the dead yet, so maybe I'm being close-minded, but just haven't experienced it personally yet, so probably gonna say they're not real.
So I think the game was Scooby-Doo and the Night of 100 Friends.
Did you Google it?
Wow, you Googled the game.
I can't confirm or deny.
There is no better way to make us feel old than to hear that somebody's first game was on the PS2 of all game consoles. Oh my goodness.
You realize like our audience is also about Alfari's age. We're not changing.
Put us out to
anything.
pasture already,
Oh,
freak.
my
My goodness. All right, welcome back to the State Farm Analyst Desk. We are looking at the Samsung SSD Fast 5 here to kick off this segment. Some of the fastest laps on record this split, and one squad appears on this list many a time, and that's Team Liquid.
You got like 5 of 16 Liquid players up here. I want to point out real quick, this is also how many times you are in the top 10. I'm actually a big fan of them doing laps, right? Like if you were first and second, like Destiny was, for example, in like finishing your support your support transform, like Destiny's had 4 absurdly good games, right? He's 4 of the top 10 of the good early games, right? Like Danny's in there 3 times, Ray's in there twice, that's sick as well. But yeah, we got Armeo in there twice. And again, in the prior graphic, you had TL #1 in top, jungle, mid, bot, and second/third for Core JJ on support. So yeah, they've had some really stellar showings here as well. Perk standing out alone in mid lane because he's so coin flipped, right? Like his top end is really absurd and his bottom end is the 0/7 Renekton,
And shout out to Solo for being at the top of the chart despite not starting right now.
Same with Jenkins.
Look at that.
Hey, we heard in Masterminds, top of the day, he's looking for a job. He looks straight at camera. Where's camera? Hire me, LCS teams, that's what he said. Anyway, TL versus Dignitas are the teams taken to the Rift here in this next game. Let's talk about them.
Yeah.
Team Liquid are, I don't know.
Oh boy,
Wow.
glowing.
Fair way to start.
I don't know which side of the bet you're on, or if you're part of it. I just know there's the bet around, can TL beat a top team? Yeah, they can't beat a top team.
Okay.
Like,
Is that they will.
yeah, well,
My bet is that they will, and Dig is not a top team.
yeah, I know.
Lucky for
but,
Team
but
Liquid.
you asked about how good is Team Liquid. Team Liquid's better than Dignitas. Like, for sure. I think Team Liquid are favored here. I think they are a quite good team. They deserve playoffs. They deserve to be in the upper bracket. They deserve the spot they are right now, which is 5th place. Like, this is how good they are.
Yeah. And the thing with TL is at the start of the split, you know, people were excited. You assumed it was going to be Alphari and Santorin, but they've gone through so much change that now it's really hard to look at them as a first place contender. That said, they have looked better recently, and I think part of the reason why is they have a really clear play style, which is play around Alphari. We saw, it was pretty funny watching after Alphari got ganked in the last game he played, he basically had Armail just set up a tent, and he's like, you're going to stay top lane for the rest of the game, and I'm going to get a huge CS lead by you completely denying the enemy from the tower. And I think that's a fine style. I think the reservation is what happens when this doesn't work? What happens when you're up against a top jungle combo that's up to snuff? So right now, I think for TL, we're just looking for progress incrementally. I think if this team is going to get better, it's going to be by individual lane performance improvements by core and tactical.
Yeah, it's interesting kind of tunneling in because you're right now, yeah, TL style really appears to be, hey, we're going to play around Alphari. Like, I know Alphari clearly wants to be a strong-sided player. I mean, he's setting records in CSD, so like, of course, right? He's up to that task. But I know Tactical as a player, like, he also was, right? When he came up on a Team Liquid, right, it was him with Impact up there, and it was like, yeah, we can get all the resources. Like, they just come off of Double Lift. So it's like, cool, we're just going to keep doing this, and Tactical looked really, really good. And then as soon as Alphari comes in, right, that's when it starts to look a bit worse, right? Suddenly, it's like, okay, well, which side are we going to play to? Ended up being Alphari. Okay, Tactical kind of felt a little bit lost because now he's not getting as much help anymore. And like, he's still a really young player, right? So he's got to kind of figure out that style. Like, he's still young in his career. And so I think TL playing around Alphari is great, and that's fine. They keep doing that. But like, you're going to see cracks in the armor as a result. Tactical is going to have a worse season with Alphari than he will with Jenkins because Alphari wants the resources and Jenkins doesn't. And it means that Tactical has to grow. And of course he can, right? But like, that's the cracks you're going to see. And whether that's, you know, Tactical learning to play weak side more or having more looks where they can play to him, you know, is going to be, you know, something remaining to see. But, you know, Alphari obviously does well with the resources.
That's kind of like or kind of pick rather I like to see on the side of Dignitas for Acadian.
Yeah.
The Diana, something that can actually get some work done with a little bit of gold behind them.
Yeah, and I'd actually like to see them just pick up the Lucian here. Sorry, Emily, you were saying.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and I like this from Dig because I do think if they're gonna find a kind of window into this game, it is gonna be through another carry performance from Acadian. He's kind of had a lot of really good games and has been instrumental in Dignitas's wins in this new kind of Dignitas era. I also like the Kalista just generally as like a champion with strong lane priority, especially since they already took away one of Tactical's kind of go-to picks, which has been that poke Varus in the bot lane. But then, yeah, here we go.
Oh, you
yeah,
left it up.
Let's go.
You left it up.
I really love this lane. Obviously, Core is an incredible Thresh player. Thresh makes this lane, we've talked about this in other drafts, so much easier for the Aphelios, who already can contest depending on gun selection and stuff like that. We don't know where the Viego is going, but that could also be flexed from jungle or top lane as well.
Yeah, and this is going to be a little bit difficult. I think I want to see Dignitas last pick for top lane. To me, anytime I see, you know, Thresh plus X lane, and like the X is like a big carry like a Jinx or an Aphelios, I want to see Camille on the opposing team. Because it's kind of the only top laner you can't lantern away from. And it's like, oh, actually, if I have like one friend over the top, you know, Diana flies in, or a Silas, or even a Ziggs bomb, whatever, like, oh, we're going to complete that kill. And Guardian Thresh Lantern Max is not enough. Like, that's not going to save that champion anymore. Whereas, like, you will get away from Aurelia. You will get away from Fiora or whatever the hell you're playing up there, right? So that's the kind of pick I want to see. And I want to see if you can get the draft in a spot where that's going to work. And that means you have to wait and see the top laner. Like, okay, is it Gwen? Do we like Camille and a Gwen? Okay, or, you know, whatever the champion is, right? Like,
Yeah.
as long as you like your champion, you know, your Camille matchup, okay, you've got a draft where you can just assassinate the Aphelios, and you're okay to team fight.
Well, and what a lot of the drafts we've seen from Dignitas have been more like, we're gonna have 3 melee topside, including their jungler, but then Yusui on something like the Silas or the Lee Sin, and then their top laner, Fake God, kind of defaulting to the Gnar sometimes or stuff like that they're a little bit more comfortable with. And then by contrast, I actually loved the Camille pick. I've been like super, again, like watching so much LPL, I'm like, where's the Camille? Set's usually banned, but like, where's the Set top? Where's the Jax top? Like, let's bring it out. Set is just off the table there. So I am thinking that maybe TL are actually setting up for the Camille here, despite everything that you just said.
To your Camille point, and the data set here is all...
And it's off the table.
Okay, well, sure, fair enough.
But keep making your point,
the
sorry.
Camille point. So this is all competitively, so this is including like, you know, EU regional leagues and whatnot, and academy and such. Camille has the highest, like a 63% win rate in competitive on this patch across like 50 or so games. Like, she has been successful, sure, in levels of play wildly above and below LCS, but like, across the world, like she's actually been quite good and is really, I think, being kind of heavily slept on.
Yeah. One thing I was going to go back to is what the Diana pick opens up for Dignitas. We saw the Lucian hover. I actually would have loved if they just picked Lucian on 3-pick because I think there were plenty of supports available. There was still the Leona that they could pick on 4 or 5. But here, I think what you should expect from Dignitas is they just want to pick a top lane matchup that's pretty stable.
Fake One Classic, right?
Yeah,
it's a
I was
Fake
gonna say,
Classic.
there's the Gnar again.
Yeah, he's extremely comfortable on the pick. You know, there's not too many picks available that can abuse this. And given that TL hasn't absolutely shown what they're going to play top, it could be Viego, but it could not. I like that they're just putting Fake God on something that allows him to just contribute in team fights because he's had some struggles in laning phase in his last few games as well.
I'm gonna go with Rise.
Yeah,
Find the Rise.
And this will decide what our...
Yeah. I'm a bigger fan of Viego jungle personally. I think that's just like the better spot for it. This is still flexible, to be honest.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Obviously, TL knows which ones they want, but now you're going to see your mid lane matchup, and you say, okay, do we need a bit more jungle pressure? I feel like Lee Sin slightly pressures that a bit harder,
Yeah.
but your top lane's kind of pretty similar regardless, where it's like you're not going to have a lot of pressure. You're going to try to sustain through the lane and just kind of survive the Gnar, and it's kind of whatever.
And I would actually prefer seeing the Lee Sin in the jungle just because I think one thing that TL has kind of been missing a little bit lately is that kind of, whoa, okay.
Yes! Okay.
Wait, was that locked in
Diana
already?
Yasuo.
At that point,
Whoa.
okay.
Hype.
That is
okay.
a very good combination.
Yeah,
if they can pull it off.
and the nice thing is they do have the Callista,
Yep.
the Callista ultimate for the
And the
backup.
Nautilus.
And then and the Nautilus, and there's so much
It's
easy
a
setup
great
for the
Yasuo
Yasuo.
comp, actually.
Yeah, I think the problem with Yasuo is just it's execution heavy, you know, and generally speaking, Yusui has not been super great in some of these more these like in clutch team fight scenarios. But I think if this is any game to have to play Yasuo, this is probably it.
I mean, he's got so many good win wall targets from the opposing side as well. You only block Viego's stun, but that's not bad. Lee Sin getting in with Q is the only way in. He's going in there. Rise only Rune Prison bypasses everything Aphelios does, except for his red gun, right? Like everything Thresh does that you care about. So this is gonna like look really good as far as win wall targets, and obviously again knock up synergy on all 4 teammates.
Yeah, and you know, I was thinking that they would pick Lucian, but I'm actually glad that they picked Yasuo here because if you look at the matchup, it's going to be Lee Sin versus Diana. Even if you're getting priority on Lucian, you're probably not going to have run of the enemy jungle. So picking something like Yasuo that takes more advantage of a strong mid game from all the setup, I think is a good pivot by Dig.
Are we worried, though, that Dignitas, in a sense, with the Yasuo pick, has chosen a mid lane matchup that won't have pressure? We talk all the time about the biggest advantage that TL has, especially against the teams below them, is they are just straight up better
Yeah, they're just gonna
individual
push
players
to your
across the
side
board.
with strong
And to
ability.
me,
Yeah.
I look at that draft and I go, uh-oh, we just drafted into Team Liquid's specific strength. Whether or not the composition in isolation is a good composition and it is the right time for Yasuo to be picked, would you not be concerned that they're just going to get steamrolled?
I mean, a little. Like, certainly Rise is going to have some shove, but you can win all some of it, right? Like, you can at least slow down a little bit of that going on. Like, I feel like Yasuo should be reasonably safe. Like, okay, Lee Sin kind of ward help in on you after a Rune Prison, but like, usually shouldn't really be getting picked apart that hard. Like, he should be able to live under turret without much issue. So, yeah, okay, TL's gonna have a good early game, but your skill's gonna feel pretty solid, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a TL draft that looks like, it's not like a bonkers early game, right? And I think you have to draft according to like how strongly the enemy has leaned into the early game. So I think as a response to how little of an early game focus there is on the TL side, I think the Dignitas draft is fine.
I will say, Dig, in my opinion, are on a little bit of a timer because TL, if they are able to just have strong lanes and kind of wait out the early game, this team composition is going to end up, you know, really, really doing well late, and they have really good side lane control with this as well. One thing I did want to point out, since they did swap the Lee Sin into the jungle and went with the Viego top, which I like, is that I've been pretty critical of how TL, you know, regardless of whether it's been Santorin or Armeo, haven't looked as good past, again, that fast clear meta in spring, where they were really, really like, in addition to their strong lanes, they would just completely control Scuttle. They would completely control all like neutrals like Drake and Rift Herald. And we haven't seen that as much. So I would love actually to see Armeo get involved with his lanes and really help them have control early, because it will, in my opinion, get to a point where this draft is just going to win out because they're going to have so much late game, like mid to late game pressure.
When you talk about being on a timer, then immediately my thought goes to we need to have control of the bottom side of the map. We need to start the dragon stacking from early on, use Callista, use Nautilus, look for dives possibly around that bot lane, but at the very least, secure the Drakes.
Yeah, they should be able to, and they should be able to get Yasuo involved in some side lane plays as well around bottom. Like, the nice thing about Callista, and this is why it's such a priority pick, is it just gives you so much agency bottom to sort of choose when you want to start a fight, and you don't even need to necessarily kill them. You can just send them back and then set up a Drake off of that play. So I think there's really got opportunities to set up a dragon stack so that you can keep pace later in the game.
I was gonna say, speaking of agency bottom now, we have CoreJJ's Thresh.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, as much as you think matchup-wise it's going to look good, I just think Teal's going to win bot lane anyway because of player skill.
Back to my first point!
Yeah.
And it all
No,
comes
I mean, sorry,
back
they're better
to
than you. What do you
player
want?
skill. Well, look where we are,
Guys,
friends.
They're gonna, I mean, it's TL.
No, I know.
Something, right?
I'm not arguing you. I'm not arguing the point. I'm not arguing the point.
yeah.
10 seconds to go till game time. Let's hand it over to Pastrobi for the call.
Thank you very much, Josh. I'm Pastry, still here. This time alongside Kobe.
Where's our light show? We need the strobes to come
That's
out
true.
there. I like this
That's
name,
true,
but we
that's
need
true.
support.
All right, we'll see if we get it. This will be a fun one. Obviously, as we heard from the desk, Team Liquid understandably favored coming into this matchup, but Dig continuing to throw us spice week in, week out. This time, it's last pick Yasuo.
Well, I hope they've got some extra spice in the tank because they are on a 3-game loss streak here. I do love this combination. You know, Diana by herself is one of the most, actually she has the most wins in the top 4 regions currently right now on this patch for any champion, 14 total. But when you combine it with Yasuo, the Wombo combo is insane. This is my current favorite version of, you know, one of the old style Gragas Yasuo compositions, because this one, you can get the entire team with it and with the AoE. Dig coming out here with a level 1 invade as well. They actually don't even have their sweeper for the level 1 invade. They're doing it super early though, so you can drop off and then just get your recalls and reset to default. You see on the mini map though, Aphelios has already moved up into the jungle and placed that ward. Thank you, observers. This is the price you pay, Pastry time, for coming for that early invade.
Certainly is, and we do have some differences here. I guess Sapphire Crystal's not that weird for Jensen as a start, but he doesn't have Future's Market because he is
Sorcery
secondary, thank you. But he does have Conqueror, so man's ready to brawl. Not phase rushing away from this Yasuo. He is going to be standing and fighting in a lot of the scraps here early on.
Yeah, I like it. As long as he can stay out of range of Gnar ultimates and Diana combinations with Yasuo, because phase rush, the positioning advantage you can get with phase rush, which is what Ryze will take in a lot of cases, does have pretty good effects for team fights as far as dodging those key abilities or getting hit by that CC. However, to your point of damage output, if you're going to just straight up brawl with them and you do have frontline, you can rely on maybe Thresh later, then Conqueror is going to allow you to do that. Jensen has really, to me, just been brimming with confidence. We saw the Aurelia game yesterday. Absolute smashing by him, going turbo deep with it, constantly diving. So hope to see more similar play from him. As Ryze, you know, he does want to try and punish Yusui early, and he's pushing in the wave, doing just that.
Right, so Yusui can contest this wave more if he wants, but it is a little bit risky. And as a reminder, tune in every Saturday. Well, not every Saturday, but tune in for Saturdays right now. 1:30 PST. Kobe's Masterminds is definitely worth the watch if you haven't seen it already, and you can catch it on YouTube if you do miss the apps, as Afro is getting himself flayed back by CoreJJ.
Yep, Hooks goes a little bit wide, hits a minion there, so he still taxis in on the minion, takes a bit of damage on the way out. This matchup, by the way, CoreJJ has multiple videos out on it, so I'm always excited when he plays either the Nautilus side or the Thresh side, because he is confident in both. And you mainly want to put your magnifying glass on the moment that the Nautilus hook does land and the timing for the flay by CoreJJ. He's usually extremely good with hitting it right after the bump, and so Nautilus cannot follow up.
Oh my god! That hook was unreal by Core, as Neo is going to get himself exhausted. Tactical eats an ignite, but TL, they're winning that 2v2.
And not only is he good with the flay, he's also quite handy with a hook himself, Pastry. The death sentence right there, right by him, gets both summoners, and all of a sudden they're saying, bottom lane is open for business. Team Liquid bottom is back. This team has been so top focused ever since they declared Alfari is going to be the primary starter. Jenkins is not going to be in the starting lineup, and we're going to concentrate on this synergy.
What a dodge by Acadian.
Passes.
Everyone's going through, and now they check in. Amayo's like, hey, Yasui. Jensen prepared this earlier. He's going to go aggressive onto the Yasuo. Unfortunately, Yasui tried to contest the wave, and Jensen shut that down.
That is so funny because you could replay this with vision.
The hook again, but the last Corte J, every ability, Kobe, it's perfect.
Oh, I'm having fun already.
All right, going in there. Afro is really trying to make it happen. Core is going to be the target after Shock is procced. And gonna have to flash. Q coming in hot from Afro.
Oh my, we've got so much mobility here. When you've got the double hooks of Nautilus Thresh with Lantern and Elise Sin in the game, you get some funny plays. I was talking about replaying that with the different vision because Armeo was just outside of the brush when he hits that Q, and so you get this awkward passing by, going in for the aggressive move, and then instantly revealing the extra members. It doesn't result in any deaths. We're still at 0-0 Pastry, but this may be the most entertaining 0-0 start we've had.
A lot of action for 5 minutes, which is what you want to see. So watch this exchange again. Again, a lot of back and forth, literally.
He's just outside the bush, so he doesn't see Acadian, and then, gets the reveal. I'm instant war hopping out, and this is the reset over the crab. Jensen then wants to go in, but he gets hit with the Nautilus hook from Afromu, and so they have to do Lantern out to the bottom side. Flash here does come from Nautilus as Afromu wants to try and punish Armeo, but he's got time since the auto doesn't go off, not able to get him with the root there, and it does force the extra 2 flashes. Nobody died in this exchange, but now so many summoners have been burned. We've got a lot of vulnerabilities. Most of them are on bottom side, and if you look at the spawn for the camps, this actually targets more Diana. As you can see, Diana is going to naturally clear down to this bottom side first, whereas Lee Sin has to clear up top side or give up a bunch of golden experience. And so we're expecting some extra firepower there from Dig by nature of the presence of Acadian, as long as he doesn't spend too much time passing by Fake God here.
All right, well, unfortunately for Fake God, he TP'd back to lane first, down 15 CS. Never what you want to see, but Fake God isolated in a 1v1 against Alfari. Gonna be tough here, and as a general rule.
I want to point out, too, because he goes over here. This is about 10 seconds of wasted time for the Diana. He was just covering for the possible aggressive play from Alfari. I don't blame him for it because Team Liquid have been so top lane focused, sending ganks from jungle, from support up there. And so probably coming into this game, Dignitas coaching staff was like, hey, everybody watch top lane. They have spent everybody's roam times up towards top lane. Team Liquid have overloaded that side of the map. So that's why Acadian spent a little bit of extra time there just covering. But he eventually gets to that play that we talked about, Pastry, where clearing towards bottom should be their setup. This is playing off their timers, and they can't get the hook. There's not going to be anything.
Oh, Acadian actually almost gets counter-hooked there, but unfortunately, there was no flash for Core, so it was a good target. Also, no flash for Afro off the back of that play.
All of the prerequisites were filled except the execution there. Meanwhile, now it gives Lee Sin opportunity to go for the invade, albeit over vision. It doesn't really matter that it's over vision because he's level 6, so he can bully Acadian, and bottom lane is pushed up, so Core JJ helps him take out some of this vision. And it is Team Liquid with a strong play here, focusing down this blue buff. They don't have Smite to finish it, so it's going to come down to autos.
Oh, Yasui's in there. They got ulti. They're going to pop it. First blood onto Armeo. Dignitas punishing that invade.
Oh, Diana Yasuo, cool combo, huh? Guess what? Nautilus is going to hit the hook. Diana's not even level 6. Acadian's behind, so Afromu's going to take up the mantle. He hits the important one, Pastry.
Yep.
And there you go. Yasui, easy follow-up. Yasuo mechanics there, very easy on
you just
display.
spam that one. Yeah, Nautilus Q is actually very short as far as knockups go, so you really have to just spam the button. But if you know Afro is hitting that, it doesn't matter. Just spam our key on top of Armeo. You're going to find it eventually.
Yeah. All right, nothing too big here on the bottom side, but the money does go over to Neo in the end, so Kalista going to start to snowball on bottom side. They definitely want to play off these dragons. Here's, again, another look at the invade, and I love the vision toggle here because you get to see the surprise and how well Afromu actually played this. You get instant vision from the Kalista Spirit here, and Afromu walks back through the tri-brush. Team Liquid did get vision, so they have a possibility knowing that he's coming over, but the timing of his Hex Flash is insane. Right over into that little brush, so they never see it coming. He hits it out of Fog of War, and Armeo has no possible reaction there.
All right, hooks on hooks, Aftershocks proccing, and CoreJJ, the one a little lower in the end of the exchange, but everyone's going to be all right. Low on mana, though, for both, for Afro and Tactical, but that's going to matter way more for Afro.
This is actual Hook City. This game. Sometimes we get disappointed, you know, when you get the multiple Hook champs and, you know, like the Blitzcrank counter.
Oh, wrong jungler. Oh, Yasui, that's not the right way for that ability. Forced to flash away. Great wind wall to block the Q, but unfortunately, counter gank not there in time for Acadian.
Yes, is able to hit the wind wall. That's the one that means death. Nice little charge here through bottom side 2. This is level 6 on Afromu, so they can go play off of the roam towards mid. There is a control ward through the river, so it's not going to be any sort of, you know, Jensen pick here, but honestly, I'd rather just exchange Dragon instead of going to contest this Rift Herald. It's getting burned down very quickly by the side of Team Liquid, and if you go up here, they're actually just going to get nothing for it.
It's a really cute kick there from Armeo. Realm Warp as well to get them out of there. Faker trying to make it happen!
Beautiful.
Just in time for the Rise ult.
Beautiful. They get Acadian's flash and ultimate. That's a quick thumbs up there from Armeo. He's extremely pleased. Jensen with his classic. I actually have never seen anyone else use that emote. I've been trying to figure out how you buy it on the League client, as it is one of the most hilarious, but that goes back to my earlier macro call where once you see them going for it here towards mid, they had the decision for Dig. They could have just turned around and grabbed first Dragon, but they decided to contest. Yeah, it's pretty close on the timing there. They end up losing out more than they even thought they were going to with the extra flash and ultimate from Acadian, which, by the way, because they have this crazy combo with Yasuo that guarantees, you know, ultimate into ultimate full combo, that's actually a pretty heavy price because it's so much pressure you lose as an almost guaranteed kill button.
Right, and Yasui he's playing to just basically be strong in skirmishes and fights, right? He's just trying to get to that first few items as quickly as he can. He went Zerk Greaves because it's way better for your DPS, but you're pretty much at the mercy of Ryze constantly like shoving down the wave. So when he gets free time, as you see, he can push it, but now Jensen can just hold the wave and basically force someone to help Yasui. And Yasui's unfortunately going to fall behind, and Sias' that hook was nice out of Afro. CoreJJ only level 5, going to get himself shot down, but there's not enough damage. And now Core returns favor with the hook, and Dignitas are going to walk away.
CoreJJ, we talked about it. Nautilus hook lands. He hits the timing on the flay with the bump afterwards. Afromu gets rooted by Purple Gun.
Yeah, Gravity Gun still in play. Tactical, though, running out of purple bullets, so Afromu is going to get away this time. As Armeo is still sticking around. Another attempt. Afro's, he's fishing here. Hit a couple, but missed on the last few.
He's getting punished for this one.
Oh, another hook for Corbin Acadian now. Going to be the one to force Armeo away, and now they're just committing with Tactical. He's fighting. Now Yasui going to TP in. The kick is good onto Neo. But what else can they do here? It's Jensen taking down one. There's Yasui back in the combo. Finally hitting there for Dignitas. And Jensen with a very nice flash angle, still trying to do what he can. Core with a great flash. He's going to give Jensen a second, but Yasui should be able to clean up here. Saves a dash, finds the Q, but CoreJJ's footwork's just too good.
Yasuo is eating up pastry time and getting all the kills for Dignitas while they're trying to counter all these low health champions. Yasui's happy to just eat up. And you talked about the early start for him. That just ballooned. This is going to be right in Dignitas' wheelhouse. They are delayed in getting this first Dragon since they didn't trade on the early Rift Herald getting that one, but they eventually will collect off the bottom lane play there. Jensen answering the extra kill for Team Liquid isn't the worst of things. Thought it was actually going to turn out quite well for them, but the teleport difference does mean a pretty big deal here for Dignitas. You know, Afromu gets punished as far as Tactical just sidestepping the Kalista ultimate. When they chunk him out and they force this one early, Tactical goes into the alcove. Then you think they're going to be able to turn around on Afromu, but double teleports come in for the protection, and Armeo trades his life for the Kalista. Only big difference is the combo pastry. Diana plus Yasuo guarantees that one, and Stopwatch buys enough time that Team Liquid, yeah, they turn around and they commit for the extra kill there, getting a double for Jensen onto the Nautilus, but the Yasuo getting the extra ones here is so big because funnels right in through the mid-game power spike.
Thor actually played that so well. I think with that flash, there's no way Yasui could follow him, but he could have thrown the Q in the expected flash path and then E'd. I just don't think you can do anything afterwards. But hey, cool, definitely doing everything he needed to do to get out of that, including that flay on the first E.
Yeah, it was so close too. You could tell every time at your fingertips, the extra few kills there. Team Liquid quite happy to clean up the first one though, and after resetting, you know, top side is doing quite well for them. All this action being bottom side, Alphari gets his lead regardless of, oh, we're focusing so many support ganks and jungle ganks and mid roams up towards that top side, or if you give them a good matchup this time, what do you know? And you leave them alone as Viego versus Gnar, you know, even with the early steel cap rush, able to earn a very sizable CS lead for himself. Top laners have been using their teleports back top lane, by the way. Okay, so this has all been focused around their minion wave control.
Yeah, very isolated 1v1. I don't think I've seen either of them in the bottom half of the map or even the middle part of the map so far, but Alphari definitely winning out in the 1v1 as expected. Definitely Faker did not counterpick Gnar to slam the 1v1. Definitely picked it to survive and then hopefully be useful in team fights later.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the carry for later that he's trying to team fight for, the Yasuo, is the one getting funneled money, so nicely done here from both sides. I like where the actual power is going. It's going to be a bit delayed on 2 minutes 20 seconds for the next dragon. Teleport timers for top lanes are now desynced is the only big difference. Alphari having the possibility of making a big Team Liquid play. So I would not be surprised if Team Liquid forced bottom triangle.
They're at it again. Both these supports just trying to find plays in the 2v2.
And River. So you see they're fishing around here. This is very good from Team Liquid because, you know, Alphari's calling, hey, I forced Fake God's teleport again, okay? We've got a huge window. Just pick somebody and I can get there.
Afro, oh my goodness, caught. That's too much damage. Afro is going to finish it off tactical with a good flash, but that's not going to be enough. The Fate's Call into the Moonfall, and they're going to clean everything up here as Jensen's down here onto Afro. Alphari's down here as well, but Yasui's going to finally join the party late, and now Yasui's going to chase it onto Jensen. Misses the Q though. That's not going to be a kill. Alphari as well is going to pressure you, and what a shutdown for Alphari. How's your Yasuo, mate? Oh, not going to go for it.
What a hilarious block right there. Yasui comes in, he blocks the Rise Q, so Afromu lives. Yeah, it's a little bit of damper on the story, as it's, you know, hilarious. Alphari finally teleports in and scrapes up 1 kill for Team Liquid. But Pastry, that was not the bottom lane play, the teleport discrepancy that Team Liquid were searching for.
No, not at all.
They bit off way more they can chew. In the communication, maybe they rushed it a little bit. CoreJJ, he dodges the hook, goes in for the flay, but that's all they need. Afromu just hits him with the auto. They get the full double knock-up, triple knock-up here. Take a seat, Tactical. The bounce house takes no prisoners. That man did not get the move. Literally triple knock-up into death, and it's only the overchase at the end that does give the opportunity for Alphari to get the extra kill here. You know, definitely a little bit over-aggressive there from Yasui, but you could tell they were hyped. You know, they even blocked the extra Q, so Afromu got to live.
Hey! I resent that remark.
I completely agree and commiserate with the feeling. That is validated there. I agree. Yasui's level 11 now, though. Even with the extra kill given over, the shield bows are on a line for everybody.
Unfortunately, shield bow missing some stats. I think most notably crit, if I recall correctly, but he's going to be all right as the Zeal. Should be moving in towards item number 2, and then Infinity Edge comes along, and everything's great once you get to that point, but also quite strong right now. Diana also, Acadian has been having a great game so far, 2-0-5, has the Rocket Belt done, has the Dark Seal building up. He's ready, as Acadian's going to take out that crab, and Dig are going to take this dragon.
Number 2, right along as scheduled here for Dignitas, and they're looking...
Oh, it does have crit.
For the, yeah, I was like, definitely builds right into it. It's the standard for marksman, standard there for Yasuo in the thick of things, but regardless, Dragon number 2 picked up, Rift Herald underway, and they've got a long run for Gnar.
Alrighty, well, ooh, Acadian getting bounced around. That's a shot down for Jensen. The eye is there, but TL get it, and now they're going to win the ensuing team fight. Armeo looking for the angle onto Neo, but Fate's call popped, and Armeo is moved away. But Yasui not going to last the night. Great flash over the Raptor pit, but the damage is just coming from every single range. Armeo flashing in to finish it off. Will take down Yasui.
Yes, sir. That's going to be Team Liquid striking back very quickly here. What can they get on top of it, though? Flash from Afromu. Not going to find the hook, but because of Rift Trail, it still should be a strong top and mid push.
All right, well, Herald is distracted by a stray minion, but is still going to get the charge off. So it does do the damage, although not enough time for TL to finish off the tower. But still, TL keeping the gold up in their favor, which is exactly what they want.
Meanwhile, Tactical going to continue the push here. Does get the actual tower down. Does get the cash in for Team Liquid. Let's take a look at this setup, though. Armeo here on it. You know there's going to be a super long walk for Gnar because of the teleport discrepancy, but it's all about Core JJ setting that one up. Yes, Jensen got the kill, but Core JJ is the one who got the pick. And there's the Realm Warp from Jensen to follow through. Guess what? No matter if you're rooting for or against the Yasuo, Armeo's going to take him down. Take a seat. And this is the start of the comeback here for Team Liquid. Dragons are going to be a problem because Dignitas will continually try and force in this area. They just need to reset, get their vision replanted, and continue to try and get this Wombo combo online. Nautilus plus Diana plus the Yasuo. Everything is looking to get this big knockup on Team Liquid. And while Tactical and Jensen will have their flashes pretty soon here, as far as Tactical coming off of cooldown, they are low mobility AD carries. They rely on those flashes. They rely on Core JJ's positioning to save them from the Doomsday scenario.
So he's actually trying to deny as many minions as he can. So just trying to eke out every little edge here, but Jensen is just farming up a storm. So he's actually still playing catch up, but we'll have 2 items done soon. It's very easy for Yasuo to get 100% crit. They did change both he and Yone's passive a long time ago, right after the items got released, so that now you don't need 3 items, you just need 2. So as soon as those are done, it's going to be good times. And Acadian, I like what he tried to do, right? The problem is you can't face check the enemy team with no vision, because it's very difficult for you to safely engage. You are still Diana, who is quite squishy.
Don't disrespect Core JJ.
Exactly.
He will make you
That's
pay.
good advice.
All right, fishing around here. They've got plenty of deep vision, though, this time around, leading up towards Baron. So this is very safe fishing for Dignitas. You can see pushing in up on top side as well from Yasui. And it's just kind of camping. They've got plenty of time to get off their recalls, reposition their control wards around that Draken before Team Liquid are able to finish up with their minion waves.
I may have zooming through the different lanes, though, with the little cloud speed there in jungle camps. Yasui does have TP, so looks like he's going to stay in the side lane, although maybe has a buy. Did tap recall for a second, but hasn't taken the base just yet. Afro, though, going to go back. Time for him to reinvest in the vision, as Dig do want to set up for this 3rd dragon and keep that soul snowball nice and alive.
It's a little bit dangerous to push super far, though, in lieu of the coming dragon fight. So I think we're just going to have a calm reset for both sides. Control wards through. Armeo's got his ready. Everybody going to come back out first. Alfari does have teleport, so should be pretty even on top side too. And it's all about the positioning for both supports. Afromu has been pretty good here as far as just consistently looking for the hooks, relying on Neo's ultimate to be able to save him if he does get into a sticky situation. But already Team Liquid have control of the river. They're the ones setting up first.
Ooh, Tactical. Oh, I love the attempt for Afro, but Tactical with some good presence of mind.
Damage will stick.
To not click on the lantern, but yeah, that damage is still very significant.
And the Dragon arriving, 27 seconds. Tactical running for that minion wave. Yeah, Alfari, don't touch it. Need to be able to lifesteal off that one in preparation for said Dragon. Here we go, down the river. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Hook on hook. Once it lands in there for Nautilus, gonna be able to pull him away. Nice timing there.
All right, Faker roaming down as well. Ooh, but it's been intercepted by Alfari. Faker just gonna get himself solo killed here. I think Alfari just will not be unstuck. That'll force the flash.
Meanwhile, tower into Dragon. Easy here for Team Liquid. Fake God does have teleport, but he's not going to have any rage. So critical pick there by Alfari.
even if you don't get the kill, it's going to be a mini Gnar coming in with 0 rage. Watch Acadian, going to try and make something happen here. They are going to look for the fight instead. Dragon goes over, 1 kill already down. They still got cooldowns left to burn. CoreJJ going to be the one picked off. Fate's Call for Afro is actually trying to chase the third, as Acadian gets the double.
This would be Baron if they could track down our Mayo. Tower's still up though.
Such a good Realm Warp again, but there, oh no, it happened! Just didn't click it fast enough.
Not going to be able to get him unless they get the rise in that. Realm Warp is down. You got to interrupt the rise. And the Lee Sin gets out no problem. Jungle still available. Jensen, though.
There are no minions. Maybe that doesn't matter. Omega can kick them out of the way. Windwall's nice as they do continue to die. But Acadian looking to make it happen. Does get the kill, but he's not. Gui is going to die. So I think Baron's off the table. But at least they got the kills they came for.
Yeah, it's getting messy in the bottom lane, Pastry. A lot of deaths on this tower. They should be able to finish it up in the aftermath, though. Dignitas still getting gold. They're digging it up here out of the bottom side. Scrappy plays, but it works out in the end. 2 for 1 plus the tower. Definitely well-deserved here for Dig, forcing through. Here's the original pick by Alphari, which gets you so many things. Chunking out Fake God and getting his flash, and meaning this Gnar will come in as a mini Gnar. It's so big for TL. So this is the reason why they're very confident in transitioning over to the Dragon. It's just that the positioning here, Afromoon nails another hook on Viego, on Alphari, that's right by the wall, that was even in the camouflage shroud. So really well timed there by Afromoon, and then it's Jig just forcing it through. Once you get that pick, you have to continue digging as much as you possibly can. Yeah, if you get the Lee Sin, big whoop. Got to get the rise as well. Jensen did a very good job just skirting towards the very end of it and to get his compatriot out. Meanwhile, he's not going to be so lucky under the turret. They try and fight for their lives, and they do get at least 1 counter kill here with the tower damage. And the root with his dying breath there from Jensen allows our Mayo to finish it off, but you know, the extra gold going to Dig, they're quite happy with.
All right, well, IE done now for Yasui. It's 2 items actually for pretty much everyone on Dig except for Fake God. He has been struggling in the 1v1. But Team Liquid, not that far behind in gold. It's been a pretty back and forth one. The big gold lead right now is 1,500 or so up for Dignitas, but it's been, you know, I think 2K or under for most of this game, if not all of it. So a lot more about setting up for these next key objectives, right? This Baron and, of course, the eventual Soul, although even Team Liquid have slowed that down as well off the back of that last take.
Gotta watch out for these flanks as well. They can be so damaging. Jensen now has no flash for this next attempt at taking vision around Baron, and Team Liquid will be walking in with fairly shallow vision here if Dignitas get their reset off. So it's important that Alphari is getting the early push on bottom side. There's no teleport on Fake God. So you're forced with this decision. Do we answer on bottom side and have everybody just play cautiously around the Baron for Dignitas? It looks like that is going to be the case here. They still send Faked out down to bottom side, despite there being a quarter of the timer left on his teleport. Just trying to answer this. This means he's telling the rest of the team, nobody get picked here. Don't get into any hook wars. Doesn't matter. You're not going to win it there versus CoreJJ. I can't join. It's very dangerous.
Well, Kenny got a lot of info there, actually, but now Core is going to be spotted, but he's going to go in for it. The hook is good for Afro into the Moonfall once again, and they just find a kill.
Or just kill him while on cloud speed. Very nice cue from Acadian. Gets you the vision.
Well, Fate's going into Tactical, but Afro does not land the hook. The ulti was there, but Tactical had flash, so I think went for the quicker play. Dignitas, though, will get this tower, which has been kind of bugging them for this whole game. And now maybe they open up some space around the Baron.
I love the Rambo play from Dig. They're just all in. Grab the pick, instantly kill him. Guess what? It doesn't matter. There's no time for teleports to come in. So no response from Team Liquid to the brute force.
Afro actually ulted Jensen. That's the target, but Yasui's barely in range. Now Jensen and Azonya's up, but Jensen left for dead. That's a great pick for Dig as they go back to Baron.
That's some big muscles right there. They've got control wards all the way lined up towards Baron too. Now it's red-white gun for Tactical. So, oh no, the red one's gone. Hard to pull off some heroics in this case. See how many chakrams he can actually cash up. Armeo does have Smite.
Cook on a core again, though. The only ult, by the way, is Fake God, but he's busy brawling. Alphari just going to be caught completely out as Acadian comes in with a flash ulti that came off cooldown to find another pick.
It's a Dignitas party bus pastry time. It never stops rocking.
Of course, it goes straight to Baron as well as on Mayo. Now the next one in line on the bus, but his stop has just been reached as Fake God is going to try and find him, and indeed will finish off the kill. And once again, Dig go back to Baron.
All right, well, who else wants to challenge? Let's see if they actually finish off any of these wards. No sweeper necessary. Teleport comes in. Jensen now gets to stand around and watch. They've got a Realm Warp, but you've died so many times just walking into this Dignitas comp that guess what? They have Nautilus Yasuo ultimate combination up again. So it would just be marching to your death once more. The ants of Team Liquid have had enough.
Too much time in the sun. Little kid with the magnifying glass has gotten a little too annoying. So that will be both Dragon and Red Bull Baron over to Dignitas. A very nice setup here in the mid game.
We just had this King of the Hill game for the last 2 minutes. Yeah. Dignitas just kept pushing off every challenger that approaches. Picked up here. Now it's a huge, huge lead for them with Baron buff in tow. Soul Point on top of the giant gold lead. Plus the power of level 16 now, Yasuo, ready to play off any of these knockups. This is going to be, again, constant threat of dives. So yeah, guess what? You can try and push out your side waves here by Team Liquid. You have Ryze, you have Viego, very good side lane pushers. But Dig don't have to give you any ground.
Oh, I love the attempt. There's the Lantern over Core JJ, and Yasui is a very real side lane threat. Oh, yeah, never mind. Everyone's coming. All right, Jensen, he's the only one to get out. Oh, what a flash from Core. Gets himself back to the realm up right in time.
Yeah, it's going to be a successful evacuation, and yet it's still going to be Dignitas pressing on all sides. They can push up. 1 minion wave coming here towards mid. This should be able to get to the tower with the reset from... Oh, Yasui cancels actually his Baron Empowered recall, so they're just going to push hard on mid and bottom. Ignore Alphari's split pushing, and once again, knock down the front door. Just come straight through the middle.
Yeah, believing they can get more done with this Baron. Then Alphari can get done on the top side. Teal might just take the trade, at least for this first tower. Alphari sticking up there for now, but 2 towers already done for Dignitas and looking for these inhibitor ones now.
Shouldn't be stopped here. There's no Viego teleport, so guess what? You're giving up. They've made the call here. Team Liquid are calling off, give up inhibitor number 1, maybe inhibitor number 2. Viego's trying to push against Baron. That means Dignitas definitely going to...
Okay, now you got to come back. Dignitas are actually just threatening to end the game.
Red alert!
Windwall's going to get one tower. Dignitas just walk out and take it, and now he's forced to TP, but it's far too late to save anything.
Yeah, they're scared of the dive regardless, but giving up a lot of ground here to Dig. They can't let this mid wave go. They've got to get to the mid wave to Baron Empower it.
All right, Fake God's there. This is actually a nice little split. Dig it deep in the enemy base, but they're going to grab it. Now the mid inhib's exposed. Yasui dancing around, trying to fish for a tornado, but Dignitas are just brute forcing their way through 2 different inhibs.
Guess what? They've got 30 seconds left. That's a whole nother minion wave coming. And Dignitas have all ults available.
All right, watch Acadian. Watch, I mean, basically any good knockup is going to end this game in an instant as Dignitas, they have so much time left. Oh, not that much time, actually. My brain got confused by the numbers. That's very common. One more wave. 10 seconds with the Baron buff still. But Dig, they're going for it. Yasui fishing again, doesn't land it, and now Dig are going to leave.
Yep, time is out. It's expired, but the goal was accomplished for Dig. Blasted a giant hole in Team Liquid's base here, and there's not a lot of recovery options for them. They can try and revert back to pushing on sides, but it's also very easy for Dig to chase people down. They've got double teleports and flashes available, so they can play extremely aggressively in trying to pick off these side lane push attempts for Team Liquid that are trying to stall it out. Yes, Jensen is approaching level 18, and they have been able to funnel a decent amount of side lane experience into him. But now with super minions coming down both mid and bottom, all you can really do is fend off the inevitable. Dignitas with the super minion pressure, easy reset. It's 1 minute, 20 seconds towards Dragon, so they should very easily be able to get to Dragon first, set up your vision, and then it's ridiculously hard for Team Liquid to face check into this comp that has so many long-range knockups, and it's going to have to be a hero play from TL. Maybe you make a call, just throw a Hail Mary of trying to steal and leave it at that, not give extra lives over in the attempt to stop the Cloud Soul.
It's like the build your own Malphite comp, you know? Every knockup plus, yeah, so it could be a big Malphite ulti if you want to think about it that way.
It's the Yasui. Here's an easy way to play the game, comp.
I mean, Krebs loves to talk about, you know, Yasuo plus traditionally Gragas, now in this case Diana, of being something that everyone should just play. It's just so easy. Just click R, and in some ways, simplifying the game for you can be helpful. Great kick though for Armeo. Acadian though, this counter engage could be brutal as Armeo is going to be the target. Here comes Faker Yusui with the flame, but he finds the long range last breath to get his way out of there and takes down Armeo. And now Core and Tactical are in trouble, and Tactical is going to be rooted in place. He gets one, but he will die as a result as Neo is hopping mad forward straight towards the TL base. Jensen almost taking out Fake God. Nice little usage of the Rise machine gun spells, but does not get the kill as Dignitas are going to try and finish off this game.
Yeah, they've got a Guardian Angel on Yasui, so he can go super deep on this Nexus turret. There's only one left, and Double Super's already at the base.
Alrighty, do they have enough? It's a 4v3, but Fake God's a little bit low, and they're probably going to have to get a kill here to go for it. Yasui dive in, straight in there with the GA, but he doesn't actually get the tornado off as Alfari is diving back through, but Yasui just needs to get out. He's bought enough time, but the minion wave's actually been deleted by Jensen.
Yeah, that burst damage from Jensen here actually pops Yasui's GA immediately. He doesn't even get the knock-up. They're going for the dive here. Level 18 now for Jensen. So the scaling is still there. You've got great scaling on Viego, Rise, and Aphelios. It's just that you're going to have to deal with the Cloud Soul now from Dig. And the Cloud Soul in comps like this that excel so much off ultimates is a big pain. Yes, people sometimes, you know, are less perturbed by that one, but when you've got all these champs running straight for your backline, it's going to make it that much easier.
All right, Team Liquid have decided to bet it all on Baron. Oh my God, Neo just deletes Tactical. Afro and Acadian are diving in onto Jensen. That's the threat they need to kill as Yasui's just kiting it up. Fake God, though, has his teammates back. There's the last breath. Yasui dodges everything else. Jensen is going to be finished off at the end of it, and they will say thanks for the leash on Baron as Alfari is just trying not to give them the ace.
Yeah, that was a good old 10%er there from Team Liquid. They're like, you know what? We gotta make our comeback play now. Maybe we can finish it in time. Guess what? They don't have time. GG, Dignitas.
Minion's gonna try and make it happen. Alfari here for the defense, but there is nothing left. Dignitas are gonna walk in and finish off the Nexus. Looking real good here up against TL.
Dignitas right back here with what I would say is a more accurate bongo comp, considering the amount of knockups, bouncing everybody around. They just focus, they continue to dive, continue to just pick off whoever's in front of them, see hero kill hero, and it works out.
Yeah, looking good. Navigating some of those fights pretty well as well. Identifying, you know, the correct targets. We saw what Jensen was doing when he was left unchecked, so I think hunting him down that last fight was good. Alfari wanted to play side lane, but unfortunately, when you're getting 5v4 dove by all these ultimates, very tough to do anything in the side lane.
I kind of enjoy comps like this just because it's so active
much
back
fun.
and you know that they're going to consistently be forcing those plays.
You hope so, because if it doesn't happen, that's real bad stuff when they don't try and make it happen. After that match, I do want to give a shout out to everyone at home that is hitting up Reddit and Twitter to keep the discourse alive and well online, and to thank everyone for your many contributions. Our peripherals partner Rocket is helping us hook up our fans so they can keep posting and generating the takes we all know and love. So this week, some snazzy new Rocket peripherals are headed to Twitter user @LiarsEden. Thank you so much for responding to us promptly. Those are the kind of goated social media skills that we love to see. But for now, we're going to toss it to a break before we join the State Farm Analyst Desk. We'll see you there.
Can't believe that Daniel deal you got me on my insurance.
Daniel, State Farm offers surprisingly great rates to everyone.
Sure you do. You want to meet the queen?
I'm not dressed for that. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back to the LCS. We are here at the State Farm Analyst Desk following a Dignitas victory facing off against Team Liquid. Really got some pep in their step in that one.
It was exciting. They ran for a comp. I'm such a fan of teams identifying a clear play style to play toward. Apparently, Yasui can't hit skill shots. That's okay. You press R at any point in time they're in the air. You fly over there and land it anyway. The man, I think, has hit less tornadoes than superheroes in movies or something.
Damn.
Okay, core started well. We screwed up the joke. It's okay. Core started really well, but you can see these fights come in as the teleports come across. It's the fact that, look, this is going to take a while. Good first kill. Really nice kick flash. Okay, whatever. But when the squad flies in, oh, we got Yasui. He's here for the first kill. No big deal.
Yeah, and you know what? I love this comp from Dignitas because if you know you're the weaker team, just play the easier comp, right? Like, we don't need to worry about lane priority or macro when it's just everyone go in, everyone press R, knock them up. And I remember Emily talking about how the fact that TL basically had a ticking time bomb, right? And they did with the Ryze late game. Once he has his Zonias online, it's really hard to kill him. When you have the Aphelios being lancered out by a Thresh. But you know what? They're just like, we're just gonna defuse the bomb, rip the wire out by just going in all the time. So good look from Dignitas.
Yeah, and I mean, I think so with a team composition like this, it's really on Dig to make sure that they do get involved early, right? Like, this is why I was thinking I really did want to see Armeo getting into TL's lanes. I would have liked to see, we had that first awesome roam from Core when he comes up top and they go for double scuttle and they end up getting that. I thought that showed really good control, and I would have liked to see Armeo in the lanes a little bit more frequently because I think that would have stymied a lot of the things that Dig were trying to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, credit to Dig for realizing, like, hey, you know, once we get this Diana in position, once we get this Yasuo in position, we're going. Like, we're going in, and this is how our composition works. And again, there's a pretty nice margin for error there where it's still gonna work. So, you know what? Like, good job.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up, you know?
Like, I'm not being sarcastic either.
Nope.
Like, this is, I actually really
They played good.
Like,
Yeah, no.
Their proactivity was like really important here.
Yeah, and you know, there were some moments where I thought, Dig, you could probably close this game now. You know, there were some moments where they could have gone for a Baron instead of looking to dive people additionally, but I get it. Eyes are red, you see blood, you know, you want to go in, but I think that's the kind of play where Dignitas, they want to clean that up because against stronger teams in TL, I do think they get punished there.
Yeah, for reference, we were all on the desk screaming for them to go Baron while they're diving bot lane, but you know.
Yeah. I need to throw some shade there real quick. I talked about it a bit on the cast yesterday, but now I'm here watching the entire game. Yes, we can dim the lights functionally. TL do not look that good with Alfari. They are 3-5 with him. They are 9-6 with Jenkins. Guess what? The team, and we can talk about the CS difference, man. The guy claps lane. Good for you. Cool, good job. But unless you do anything with a 30 CS lead, I don't care. Yeah. I saw one TP bot lane, and he's like, you've already won the fight? I'm gonna walk back to my base now, see ya. The man did nothing with a gigantic lead. The guy's ahead more than any other lane in the history of the LCS, and he was a 1-2-1 champion. It's like, I'm glad you're winning the game, and you're not cool.
Yeah, and this is not an Alfari Flame segment, at least for me. I don't know about Freak, but you know,
maybe
when Frost was on yesterday, she did talk about how in the LEC he was considered extremely good, but he wasn't actually making his team win, right? He was on the last place team, and I think we're seeing shades of that. Like, I don't know if it's the rest of TL is not on the same page with him. I don't know if he's calling for plays and he's not on the same page as them. But the point is, it's not working, and you're getting these leads in lane, but you're not getting leads for the team.
Alfari is a very good player who has never been on a good team, or you can sidestep being with a good coach or whatever. Like, he clearly doesn't know how to convert his leads into winning. and whatever is that he has to be more vocal, or he has to understand how to play around winning top, like whatever it is, right? Alfari gets ahead, they do not turn into wins. That happened in the LEC, it's happening in the LCS.
It's a conversation that we did have a bit in the springtime. Now it's carrying over with him being back on the stage, maybe in a bit of a different regard. But that does wrap things up for our matchup between Dignitas and Team Liquid. We are kicking it to a break, and on the other side, we're serving up one last game. 100 Thieves fighting to maintain first place and face off against Counter Logic Gaming. We'll see you there in Champ Selects.
Miracle Run!
Get out of here.